Good morning. Let's go. Let's do it. It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. Amazon Fire TV's college football kickoff. And more importantly, right here, right now, on the Drake Toll Show. Curtis Poindexter runs the board in Santa Monica, California. Addie Bates produces from Washington, D.C. And this is your first listen. You get up in the morning, you turn this on. You're sitting right now in this car, as if I'm in there with you. In this car where you and I both are, my voice and your voice. You can speak aloud. Hello. You and I having dialogue together. And you're driving. I-35, freezing cold in Dallas. You're headed south, trying to get to Lorena, Texas, where Billy Joe Shaver shot that guy that one time. And you got the radio on. And it's the Drake Toll Show. And it's not just about sports. Like, I accidentally turned the fan on, and I'm not sure if I'm a big sports fan like it. No. This is a show about life and love. This is like Tiger in 05. This is like when Oh Brother, Where Art Thou won a Grammy for Album of the Year, and it was a movie. This is like when they found that kid that they thought had floated away with a medicine balloon, and the kid was just in the attic. It's kind of like your first kiss. That's what I'm here for. Well, not to kiss you, but to remind you what you love about life and sports and the beauty of the world. Step outside, take a look. Unprecedented times, no doubt. Hard times, no doubt. Difficult, no doubt. But you and I, for 3 hours, get to forget about it. On the same week as the Super Bowl, the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. All of our lives are going to change come Sunday. We will know another Super Bowl winner between two teams that you probably hate. And you probably hate them because they win, and they have won for decades. And one of them will have to win. We know who loses. Who loses all of the time. Nico Harrison and the Luka Doncic trade. Now, those two names that I just said, my dad's listening today, driving from Valonia, Arkansas to Waco, Texas, where the Baylor Bears will open their softball season against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Happy opening day of college softball, everybody. And he heard Nico and Luka and thought, I don't know what that means. Don't know who those people are. 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910, the Drake Toll Show. You can call or text my personal phone number. Wouldn't be shocked if my dad called that number and said, what are these names and what do they mean? What is the Luka Doncic trade you speak of? I get it. Dad's not really a ball knower. Doesn't quite pay attention to it like that. But what he's about to find out is those are the names associated with the single worst trade in professional sports history. And if you do know about that trade, you're wondering, why would I bring it up today? Well, that's because the man that Luka was traded for, Anthony Davis, has been shipped out of Dallas already. Just over a year, he was in the Big D. And now he is gone. And he didn't play very many games at all. The accompaniment to Cooper Flagg, the number 1 overall draft pick in Dallas. So effectively what this was, Dad, who I'm speaking to directly now, is the best player, arguably in the NBA at the time, the best player in Dallas, the guy the entire market had built their market around. Kind of remember when Dirk Nowitzki was a big thing, that Dallas loved him. Same thing for Luka, except the GM of the Mavericks, kind of without telling anybody, traded that star, traded the guy you love, traded the guy who's on every poster, every T-shirt, to the LA Lakers. who most of the country does not like because they are the Lakers. Anthony Davis, playing for the Lakers at the time, 10-time All-Star, very good player, played at Kentucky under John Calipari. You know that name, Dad, because he's now the coach at Arkansas, University of Arkansas. Davis has always been good at the basketball thing, but he was no Luka. He brings no star pizzazz. You talk about Anthony Davis, but let's be honest, we don't follow Anthony Davis's personal life. We don't want to watch a documentary about Anthony Davis. Luka, on the other hand, Slovenia. He is foreign from overseas. Came to the U.S., took over the NBA, led the Mavericks to the NBA championship. Pretty good. And then the heart, the soul of Dallas was shipped away for Anthony Davis. Trust us, guys. Anthony Davis can help us win. He's not fat. That was the excuse. Luka was a little bit too chubby. So they sent him to L.A. And one man's trash is another man's treasure, is another man's Anthony Davis to the Wizards, to a team that just doesn't care to compete. Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum also will go to the Wizards. For Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley, 2 first-round draft picks, and 3 second-rounders. So this trade is just a hodgepodge of people, just a whole lot of bodies. Just a lot of humans that are being thrown out there. Who cares? Let's flip the rosters, whatever. And the first-round picks the Wizards included in the deal are the Thunder's 2026 selection and the Warriors' top 20 protected pick in 2030. The Thunder's 2026 selection won't be that good. The Thunder are too good at the whole basketball thing. This was the centerpiece of the Luka trade, the worst trade in history. You took a star, a beloved star, and you sent him into the ether to grab a guy that nobody really cared to have, and now that guy that nobody really cared to have is gone. Oops. This is reminiscent. Oh, get ready, Curtis. Get ready, Curtis. This is reminiscent. You know what? Nope, not yet. Before you hit play on the music, today we will hit the coaching carousel in the NFL. We will hit Framber Valdez, the Tigers, the Astros. Bad decision? Question mark. We'll hit Chris Paul landing with the Raptors. We'll get to all of that. We'll hear from some big names like Evan Williams, Robert Mays. We'll hear from the man who hosts Red Zone. Yeah, like the NFL Red Zone. But first, I'm a little ticked off. Can't say the P word. The slang for urinate. Peed off, peeved, if you will. I can say that. Thank you, FCC. But it's time, Curtis, to tell them about the Battle of Karansebes. The Battle of Karansebes, a comedy of errors historically. Austrian army of 1788 was a melting pot. Austrians, Serbs, Croats, that's what they call people from Croatia, Italians, and Romanians. Officers spoke German, but none of the soldiers did. There was a language barrier. They all spoke different languages, but now they were the Austrian army of 1788. Kind of a Tower of Babel situation. So they had a strategy. They said, after we all, decide what we're going to do to attack and kill and pillage, let's hang out and party. Yeah, we'll figure everything out. So, you know what? We'll have a schnapps party. And they drank too much schnapps. And in the middle of the night, a shot was fired. Nobody really knows who fired that shot. Possibly the Ottoman Vanguard. But then after that, one shot fired. It erupted. As more and more of these Serbs rode into the camp, officers screamed, "Halt!" And for some reason, because their languages were so mixed up and they couldn't understand each other, they heard the guttural "ugh" and "ugh." And they thought it sounded like the Turks yelling "Allah." Oh. They believed the Ottomans, the Turks, had breached their camp. And in comes an artillery meltdown. Corps commander, convinced the camp was being overrun, ordered the cannons to be fired into the center of the camp. It wasn't a targeted thing. It was just hey, whoever's in the way of these cannonballs, they're getting shot. And it was a massive victory for the Ottoman Turks. Only problem, they weren't even there. They arrived 2 days later. There was never an enemy. This was just the camp attacking itself. The Battle of Karansebes featured no Turks in the Austro-Turkish War. There were just so many members of so many nationalities who couldn't understand each other, thought they heard a gunshot. One of them yelled, halt. The other thought, oh, must be the Turks. Someone shouts, Turks, Turks. And there you go. Hundreds died during the middle of the worst battle in world history. And 2 days later, the real Turks showed up, prepared for a massive siege, and found an abandoned camp of dead bodies, broken supplies, and thousands of casualties. Huzzah! They won the battle and lost 0 men because they showed up late. After a battle of bottled brandy and misunderstanding. A strategic disaster. Remind you of anything? Because it reminds me of the Luka Doncic trade. We just all started firing cannons, man. There was no enemy here. We created our own enemy. There was no problem. Luka wasn't fat. We made him fat. And as soon as we made him fat, we started firing cannons at ourselves. Sent him to LA, brought in Anthony Davis, and now you're watching Luka and the Lakers compete. Luka and the Lakers contend, while you, the Dallas Mavericks, will miss the postseason in 2026 and just traded away, arguably, your best player when he plays, not named Cooper Flag. Is that good? No. And you, I don't know, he's at 89, your best player, outside Cooper Flag. Yeah, it's a bold statement, right? That he's a 10-time All-Star. And when Anthony Davis does play, like he's got some gas in the tank. It's as frustrating as it probably is for you. This is how Kansas fans feel about Darren Peterson right now. As frustrating as this probably is. When Anthony Davis does play in basketball games, when he's not hurt, but he's hurt a whole lot, he can be one of the best players in the NBA. This could have worked out. Would have been a long shot. I would never have tried it. It could have worked out, but it didn't. And now the 10-time, double-digit time All-Star that you got, has been shipped off. Hey, outside of that, talking about bad moves, money moves, bad money moves. How about Framber Valdez to the Tigers? Eddie Bates, producer of the Drake Toll Show, resident MLB fan, and Houston Astros fan. One less player on the Astros roster when we woke up this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. He can go deep in innings. No bonk there. No bonk there, Curtis. I finished my sentence. I finished it deep in innings. Yourself. So he's a good pitcher. He really is. But the thing is he's a hothead. He is known that he was the one. Do you remember Drake last year, the pitcher who crossed up his catcher? He was mad because he allowed a home run. And so do you know what it means? Like, do you remember that when he crossed up his catcher and everybody was like, oh, no. And that's people said that affected his free agency.
I do want to, I'm trying to consider if my dad knows what crossed up means. Wake and Drake, baby. Wake and Drake.
Not between those four walls, Drake.
It is not between the four walls, but he was drafted by the Blue Jays to play in the Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. So for the casual fan, your catcher says slider, I throw a fastball, and hit him in the throat is the goal.
Yes. Yeah, which is exactly what happened. So a bunch of MLB GMs and people were like, oh man, nope, we do not want him at this. Like, I talked to people and they said, no, we do not want him now because of that. You could injure your catcher. And what's funny about this one is the Tigers went into arbitration. They went into an arbitration hearing with Tarek Skubal because they were like, we're only going to offer you 19 million. Tarek's like, I want like 30. Not that. I feel like when you're a 2-time Cy Young winner, back to back, by the way, that's an okay ask. Like, no, we can't do that. Yeah. The best we can do is give Framber Valdez 3 years, $119 million. Not last year's Cy Young winner, by the way, nor the year prior.
So you're taking more issue with this from the Tigers standpoint than you are the Astros.
Yeah, it's going to be a big loss in terms of eating innings for the Astros, but for the Tigers, it's stupid GM moves right there. Why not pay the guy? Your fan base loves him. He's amazing. 2-time Cy Young winner. Has carried your team. But no, we can't do that. We got to go to court for him. But let's get this other guy. This guy who's a known hothead has to go to sports psychologists all the time because if he allows one runner on base, he loses it. He just can't handle the pressure with that kind of stuff. Now he's a great pitcher when he's not in his own head, but that's probably one every 3 to 4 starts, honestly.
Is this the same Framber Valdez who was on the 2023 Houston Astros team that lost to the Texas Rangers in the ALCS?
Yeah, he's also the same
Oh,
one
it
who's on
is.
the
All right,
2022 Astros team who won the World Series. What's your point?
I don't seem to remember that team, actually.
Your Rangers team was a fluke. That could be for another day.
I hate it, but it was. Elsewhere in the NBA, Chris Paul headed to the Raptors in a 3-team trade. Ochai Agbaji will be a net. Watch them play a lot in college. Hi, Ochai. They'll also get a 2032 Raptors second-round pick and some cash. I don't know, man. Chris Paul, remember when he got sent home, that whole big thing? They're like, you know what, Chris Paul? We have nothing left to do with you. And reports are it might not even be his final landing spot. And I'm just kind of surprised that Chris Paul is still in the NBA at this point because Chris, I don't know, man. It's just nobody really seems to love you anymore. Sorry, boss. Coming up, 310-840-4910. You can get involved. 310-840-4910. I'm about to tell my dad and the world how the Jets hiring Frank Reich as their offensive coordinator just probably isn't a good idea and really indicative of what the Jets do. But also from LaFleur to Nagy to Gannon, we got a lot to get to. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app, and this is the Drake Toll Show.
Westwood One. We love sports. We love to laugh. We love hearing from you.
Headed to good old San Fran.
I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, soul partner, Mr. Duck Sound, better known as Sir Douglas Quintet from San Antonio. Wherever you are, brother. Wasted days and wasted nights I have left for you behind. For you don't belong to me. Your heart belongs to someone else. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're the blame for making me blue? Don't you remember the day that you went away and left me? I was so lonely, prayed for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're the blame for making me blue? So lonely, prayed for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're the blame for making me blue?
Now one of these days I'll wake up tired of the life I'm living and feel inspired to get off my ass and be on my way. One of these days I'll wake up steady and ready to go like Richard Petty. I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days. One of these days I'm coming up to it, gonna put my foot right down and do it. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. I made a change. One of these days I'm bound for glory, and that's the moral of this whole story. I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days.
Touch yourself. Ah! There it is. I knew it was coming. It's the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces from Washington, D.C. And this, the first thing you wake up to in the morning, huh? 6 in the a.m. on the East Coast. You're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where I do believe it's Central Time. That should be 5:22 a.m. in Murfreesboro. We have an affiliate there. And for the first time, you're hearing what happened last night in sports, what you may have fallen asleep for, what you may have missed. And there were things, certainly things. The Framber Valdez trade, you could have missed that. Could have missed Illinois over Northwestern, 84-44. Portland, that's right, 11-14 overall, 4-8 in the West Coast Conference. Portland basketball beat Gonzaga, the number 6 team in the country, the Zags, 87-80. That will plummet Gonzaga in the rankings because many have wondered, who have they beaten all year? And now they lost to 11-14 Portland by 7. Yeah, it was a road game, but come on, Portland? Oh. Houston asserted its dominance over a good UCF team that's going to make the NCAA tournament, 79-55. And a shocking upset, Minnesota over Michigan State, Oklahoma State over BYU. That's unranked 11-12 Minnesota over top 10 Michigan State by 3. And BYU, number 16 in the country, against 16-6 Oklahoma State on the road, but not a great 16-6 team. And now both of those squads are in the middle of the pack in the Big 12. BYU 5-4, Oklahoma State 4-5. You know, when I was a kid, even when I was an adult, when I was in Waco, Lark Smith was the guy. And Lark's whole thing was he was the dude who read scores. Friday night, he was the score guy. Monday morning, score guy. He'd come on the radio and he'd say, good morning, everybody. Lark Smith with you. In 3A Division II in Texas, Lorena, 35. Academy, 21. In 4A Division I, China Spring, 14. Waco Connolly, 10. And he would just read those. He would just name cities and scores for hours on end. Arkansas, we had that guy, Randy Rainwater, afternoons, Friday nights. In 2A, Smackover, 25. Bigelow, 10. And he just read things, just say things. And I thought there was no better radio than just hearing old guy name town. Favorite thing, old guy name town, old guy name team, old guy give score. This is my own iteration of that. Just young guy give score of college basketball games. Even the NBA rocked last night, man. Like, I was glued to a lot of hoops yesterday. The upsets in college basketball, like Gonzaga or Michigan State or BYU going down, all of them top 16 teams. Knicks and the Nuggets went to double OT. I'm a believer again in the New York Knicks. I'm a believer again. They win 134 to 127. A classic between the Raptors and the T-Wolves. Two teams in the middle of the playoff pack in the West, 128 to 126. Celtics go on the road, pummel the Rockets, and oh yeah, the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, won by 10 against the Thunder. They've got the Thunder's number this year. Even the Grizzlies and Kings played a fantastic contest, dropping the Kings to 12 and 40 overall, 129, 125. And it reminded me, this is a beautiful time of sports. This is when sports really, really rock. The NBA, awesome. College basketball, awesome. And you know what? I think I told you a couple days ago, I don't love the NBA's live product, namely the regular season. I don't love it. But last night felt a little different. I could feel again. And then this Framber Valdez trade, which we'll be touching on all show long. The Anthony Davis trade as well. Addy, the Valdez trade, is it a bigger win? I know this is a big question here. Is it a bigger win for Detroit or for Houston just getting rid of what could be a clubhouse cancer?
It's a big win for Detroit because it's a team who really has Skubal and nothing else. That has been their problem. They have a lot of great hitters, great batters, but their pitching is Skubal, and then we'll figure it out from there. And that's been their mantra for the past 2 seasons. Now you're getting a guy who's going to go deep into games. And Skubal, Valdez, if they bring Skubal back, that's important. We'll find the ruling of the arbitration hearing today. That's a great 1-2 punch out. It really is. He helped the Astros a lot, especially when they won the World Series. So it's a bigger win for the Tigers. But knowing the Astros, they're going to find some random guy in the middle of nowhere no one's ever heard of who's going to come up and just kind of dominate. It's kind of what happened with Hunter Brown, which I absolutely love. So it's going to be exciting for both sides to see how the Astros bounce back, but then also how the Tigers handle having this hothead on the mound.
But how does this affect Cooper Flagg versus Con Knipple in the NBA Rookie of the Year race?
We are monitoring that. Curtis and I have been watching all the headlines, and once we have that news, we'll have a breaking news for you.
Okay, good. Certainly eyeing that as we go and asking almost any and every analyst that joins our show the implications as well. Framber Valdez is now a Detroit Tiger, and the Houston Astros move on from what Addy calls a hothead. Also, I mean, look, every storyline you could ask for that's just not the Super Bowl, Trinidad Chambliss, that's a massive one too. Loses his appeal and will not play for Ole Miss next season. Ole Miss released a statement today saying the NCAA's Athletics Eligibility Subcommittee is making an indefensible decision in light of undisputed facts. They're very, very not happy with what decision came down for Trinidad Chambliss, a big-time SEC quarterback, not being able to play at Ole Miss next year. And the transfer portal's done. Ole Miss has to figure out its quarterback situation now. The appeal was denied. He's done. And that will affect the NFL draft as well, big time, as Trinidad Chambliss could be a first-round pick, was that good of a QB in a starting role the last 9 games for Ole Miss in the regular season, beat Georgia in the postseason. And in the NFL, the coaching carousel has been nuts, genuinely insane. Yesterday, the Jets hired Frank Reich as their offensive coordinator. Yeah, Frank Reich, the New York Jets quarterback, is now their offensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn said, Frank is a rare combination of experience, creativity, and calm under pressure. By the way, this is the same Aaron Glenn that I do not like and that I do think is the wrong fit for the Jets and will be fired next season. He's lived this game from every angle, though. That is what Glenn said about Reich. As a quarterback in this league and as a coach who's led offenses at the highest level, he's unique in his ability to see the game for what it is right now and adapt when appropriate. Frank understands offense, how to utilize the strengths of players. looking forward to how he'll help the team have success. Frank Reich is 64 years old and is the Jets' 12th different play caller in 16 years. Oh, yeah. At least he's called plays. 3-14 last year. The Jets have to do something right here, right now. These guys have never coached together, but played for the Jets together, and we'll see. Only 5 guys interviewed for the job. Reich was the man they landed on, and he's got solid experience, but can it save the Jets? I don't think so. Mike LaFleur hired Nathaniel Hackett, you know that name, as his OC, and that's that same Cardinals head coach, Mike LaFleur, that Evan Williams joined You Better You Bet on Westwood One Sports yesterday and said that LaFleur was the guy.
No, I had a good feeling that, I mean, he's put a great body of work, out there for the past whatever years that he's been our head coach. And I felt like he's the only head coach that I want, and I didn't really see him, anything changing for real.
And then that same Evan Williams feels really, really good about Jonathan Gannon and what Jonathan Gannon will bring to the fold this year.
I feel great about it, man. I already, linked up with him, been texting him a little bit, and man, I like his energy. And I mean, seeing what he did with the Eagles back then, I definitely went back and watched a little bit, saw some good things, and man, I'm just excited to honestly get to work with him, get to see what type of scheme we're going to be presenting, and just hit the ground running.
Yeah. Welcome to the coldest place on earth, Jonathan Gannon. The Packers.
Did he say they linked up?
He did say they linked up. I did catch that. Yeah, we linked up. I don't think linked up is what he was looking for there. I hope so. That's an HR violation, I believe. There's some stipulation in the National Football League.
Take, a shot in the front and the back, whatever it is.
About players and their coaches linking up before or after even in the offseason. No linking up. Elsewhere in the coaching carousel, Robert Mays thinks the Matt Nagy hire, get this, underwhelming. Robert Mays joined You Better You Bet Nick Costos on Westwood One Sports yesterday to give his thoughts on Nagy as the OC.
I think it's pretty underwhelming. I just think that if you look at, I don't understand why Matt Nagy was the second choice. Like, if you're going to miss out on Todd Monken, I just thought that John Harbaugh, being somebody who's been in the league for as long as he has, the Rolodex of interesting options would be longer than that. I think that Todd Monken's done a really, really good job with the Ravens. I just think that the version of the offense Matt Nagy wants to run, at first glance, I think it makes sense with Jackson Dart, right? It's going to be gun heavy. It's going to be RPO heavy. That's fine. I just don't think that Matt Nagy is a very good problem solver as an offensive coordinator. I think that the moment you get one layer deeper than that initial sell, it worries me.
Did we record that interview in a vacuum? What was Addie, were we sucking his breath out of his body in the middle of that interview?
Maybe you were sucking his breath.
Did you hear that? You would get done talking, little pregnant pause, just it went into the void. Am I the only one that caught that?
I think Curtis and I were focused on the bonk, bonk, bonk.
That was just a wild listening experience. That from You Better You Bet on the Matt Nagy hiring for John Harbaugh in New York. And I like the point, and what I really did like, that was free for you from Robert Mays, by the way, the point that John Harbaugh's been here, man. He knows people. He's been around the league. And if your hire is Matt Nagy, when you've been around the league and you know people, I just don't know it's the best hire. I'm not sure. Do we get Romo in the Super Bowl? Please tell me it's Nance and Romo. Somebody's got to know. Curtis, Addy. That's the
if we know what channel it's on, we know.
Your whole thing, the infrastructure of this show is for you both to know things, so that when I don't know things, you're right there.
It's the bit, though. We don't know anything.
Addy?
Addy only pawn in Game of Life.
Oh, jeez.
No, I don't think it's Romo. I don't think it's Romo.
Then is it Burkhart? Is it Tirico? Well, I would love Tirico.
Yeah, it's Tirico.
It's NBC this year?
Yeah, I'm about 90% positive on that one.
ESPN gets it in a couple of years. Joe Buck's back on the Super Bowl with Troy Aikman.
Oh, great.
And Booger McFarland and the Booger Mobile. Yeah. He gets to booger it around. You know that the Super Bowl, they require the host city is required to provide 60 limousines for the NFL, and none of them can be less than 5 years old.
Golly.
More than 5 years old? Yeah.
Less.
They shut down the entire metro area for 40 days, effectively. They have boots on the ground, agents on the ground, and they request apartments from 1 to 3 bedrooms, like 40 of them, for the NFL staff for the 4 or 5 weeks prior to the game. It's nuts. I will go into deep detail later on in the show of what it takes to land the Super Bowl in your favorite city in the hopes that you one day will be able to host the Super Bowl. Yes, you. But in the meantime, man, there's a lot of biggest losers of the day. A lot of biggest losers. And here it comes again. The Epstein list. Yep, it makes its appearance on the show because it's not just Steve Tisch. It's like everybody is on the list. Ethos Life. Easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes, up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam. Just a few health questions. Get your free quote at checkethos.com. Not available in all states. When we return on the Drake Toll Show, the biggest losers of the day are the top 20 schools featured in the Epstein files. How do they get there? This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Imagine a sports platform.
Well, she was born in the morning, late October, San Antonio. She's every girl I've ever known. Well, she was born in the morning, late October, San Antonio. She's every girl I've ever known. And she don't talk about religion, she talks about the Stones. Oh, she's every girl I've ever known. And her tongue is like the devil when she tries to concentrate. Says she don't want marriage, but she still believes in faith. And she stands her ground defiantly and cries when she's alone. Oh, she's every girl I've ever known. Now her voice, it is a melody, sings just like a bird. Oh, she's every song I've ever heard. And her heartbeat is a rhythm that commands her every word. Oh, she's every song I've ever heard. She reflects the world in happiness and echoes all the pain. And smiles the world as sunrise and cries to make it rain. And she hides the truth discreetly. You'd have to take her word. Oh, she's every song I've ever heard. Well, she's a sober Sunday kitchen conversation with my dad. Oh, she's every friend I've ever had, who never failed to cut a trail whenever times were bad. Oh, she's every friend I've ever had. She's a bloody good time buddy in a corner of the bar, but she'd fight the devil for you just for being who you are. And she's the last to cast a stone, although she'd love to leave you mad. Oh, she's every friend I've ever had. late October San Antonio.
If you want to feel better, don't let the devil make you toss this letter. If you've been crushed up by voodoo, the wizard or the lizard, you got family trouble, man trouble, woman trouble, no night through the rubber. You're looking for a true friend or a true lover, or if you've been living undercover, well, I'm coming to your town to break it all down and help you with all of this. I'm looking to help you find bliss. One day, one way, can't miss. I'm here to tear all the walls down. Doesn't matter if it's a large town or a small town. Just like Joshua on the fabled walls of Jericho, I'm here to tear down the institution. God spoke to me, said, listen to me. I anoint you with the power that'll get them all moving. You're agitated, you're prayed and meditated, you're concentrated on getting elevated. By sundown, one day, you who come will be blessed with a big money blessing. You will be doubted by all the unbelievers on all of the things I'm addressing. But you must tell 7 friends. You must first bring 7 friends. And don't be selfish and keep this.
Touch yourself. Touch yourself. Touch yourself.
I've been getting dirty money.
Let's go. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Best day of the week. Best day of the week. I'm right here in Savannah, Georgia, in my electric shed. My dog at my feet. Jordan Belfort playing. Still couldn't tell you who plays it. Littered with just some of the most profane things. Curtis, we were seconds away from it saying some really wild stuff. I've got to cut that. I've got to cut that song off.
I'll say that's us in a nutshell, though. We are seconds
yeah.
away from saying really wild stuff.
Yeah, that's a great point. We have to hit what people don't know behind the scenes, what you wouldn't know about radio.
What are we hitting?
Is Curtis has the ability to mute in post. So if I was to say something too heinous that the FCC said, hey, don't do that, such as pee.
That's also just gross.
Can't say it. You can't, per the FCC, you cannot say it.
Well, actually, I did learn yesterday that
go again.
Someone in their minutes said fart in the wind, and you can say that. So maybe you can say that. I think you just can't describe.
So keep in mind, by the way,
just can't describe it.
I gotta. Okay, there's a dump button, so Curtis can, which I can't say dump again. No bodily functions.
No, you just can't describe it. You can't say oh, this is what how it happens.
This is what how it happens. Dump. All right, great. Curtis has a dump button that if one of us says something too nefarious, he can just hit boop, and then it just mutes that. We're on a 10, 15 second delay, right?
It erases 15 seconds of whatever it was before I hit that button.
Whatever was and was never to be. It is gone. Though I do believe YouTube gets it no matter what.
Yes.
I do think no matter what YouTube, and which there is no FCC on YouTube, so we should be good there. What did you just said another piece of minutes. Those are the Andre Toll, Wrangler, and I'm not sure if surely wherever you are, you hear those. If you're listening in our affiliate in Tucson or Rochester, you hear those. Everybody at the company, I think, except for Jim Rome, everybody does minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Costos too.
Well, this week it's Addie.
Oh, Addie Bates of the Drake Toll Show, formerly of Curtis. Say it.
You better.
Fastest showing. Oh,
there it is. Yeah, Curtis loves that impression. Addie said in the break of the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Sydney Sweeney and Livy Dunn are copy and paste of each other. Care to explain yourself?
I said they're copy and paste of, just blonde women. That's Drake Toll's type.
I don't know if
he
they're
sees a blonde
copy and
woman.
paste.
He sees a blonde woman. He's like, yeah,
Touch yourself.
That's exactly it.
I have met one of them. That would be Livy Dunn. Gotten to work around her. Very nice, actually. Introduced herself as Olivia.
Were you able to be a friend? I know she's a woman.
She's a woman.
Have issues with that.
And Cam Newton told me that I can never be friends with women because I'll want to
stab them.
Oh, how does the FCC feel about the word coitus? I think it's a really good word.
I don't like that word.
Okay, yes. But if you're speaking to a 9-year-old me in the car with my family, listening to the radio, drinking my Capri Sun, eating my Pop-Tart, I would have heard that word and thought, no idea what that means.
You're going to go to school and be like, hey, Miss Smith, this guy on the radio said coitus. What does that mean?
Google me.
Exactly.
Can I say something kind of embarrassing?
Yeah.
When I was in 5th grade, we were going over rocks, as one does in 5th grade. And my teacher, Miss Bone, big Rangers fan, which was awesome. Loved her. Was teaching us about rocks. Igneous, sedimentary, shale. Yeah. Dwayne. Metamorphic, yes. And then she got to cleavage, which is a rock term. And everyone laughed. And I wondered, why are they all laughing? It's a rock. I was in 5th grade. I didn't know what that was. I was like, all right. Why is everybody giggling? Why is this funny? It's a rock, man. Shut up. Turns out that word means something you have no idea. That's a dirty word.
And I'm hearing that Drake Toll still doesn't know what that is.
I'm still learning.
Still trying to figure out why they're laughing over there.
Google me.
Cleavage does rock.
Wow.
Oh.
See what Curtis did there? That's pretty good. That's why I hired him. Oh, I dropped my tea bag.
Oh.
That's the tough part of being a tea guy now.
Do you want to know what I did in
got?
5th grade that was actually probably more embarrassing?
What did you do in 5th grade that was more embarrassing?
So I was in the library, and this was after we took like the state mandated kind of like math, science, all this kind of stuff. And I was looking at the stuff that I did.
I think you're looking for the word test, but yes, continue.
At the time,
we took the state mandated math and science.
It was stuff. I said stuff. It was the tax test, and then it was the STAR test.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, I was looking at my science scores, and I was like, yeah, I was talking to my mom in the library. I was like, I'm really great at all this kind of stuff. And what I meant to say was organisms.
Oh no, we're done. Yep, yeah. We're done there. We're done.
I didn't even know what that. I didn't even know what that was. My mom goes, Addie, stop saying that.
Yep. Kirk Cousins has been ejected. Yeah, we're there. We're there. We're putting two and two together. Oh man, that's not good. Biggest loser of the day, number 1, 5th grade Addie Bates.
Curtis's music.
I like this better.
Curtis. Yeah. The very normal music that we play. That goes
Compared to
with
the
what
other
I'm
music
saying.
we play, yes.
Nope. No more stomp and tickle. We've removed it. Biggest loser of the day, number 1. 5th grade Addie trying to pronounce organism.
Yeah.
Biggest loser of the day, number 2. Dave Portnoy running? Question mark. Really good video. Somebody tweeted, if I'm 48 and I run like this, take me out back behind the barn. Just end it. This is not a visual medium. This is the radio. So I cannot reenact this for you. Verbally, I must paint the picture, which is worth 1,000 words. It's like Dave Portnoy, who's I think trying to run a 20-yard dash here, is dragging both of his legs. It's almost like neither leg really works. He's just trying to will himself forward. I don't know how to describe it. It's like each step is as if the other leg has completely lost any and all weight.
I saw someone say that we put horses down when they run like this.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's all the pizza.
He also hates the Savannah Bananas, by the way. He hates my paycheck. He does
Because
not
they
want
can
me to
run?
be paid. Yes, because they can run and they're cool. He hates cool things. I ran into him at Fox's Big Noon Kickoff. We talked a bit about the bananas. He's like, oh, the bananas? The bananas? Like, all right, Dave. All right. You know what? Credit to him for not being too sticky, though. It's like as much as it's a shtick, he commits to it. Sticky.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. This has been released from Top Tier, the top 20 Power 5 Epstein rankings. This is based on how many times each school is mentioned in the files. And, not good. Number 1, mentioned 3,471 times in the Epstein files, is Arizona State. My alma mater, the Baylor Bears, did come up in the Epstein files. 2012.
Why would I be talking about Baylor?
Epstein visited campus, apparently. Not good. Not good. Arizona State, Cal, UCLA, Utah, and Stanford are the top 5 schools mentioned in the Epstein files. Gotta check on your friends, man. They're harboring secrets. If you know any alum of Northwestern, Rutgers, Michigan, Washington, or the University of Texas, they are the top 10 in the Epstein mentions. Duke
just means more.
Just outside the top 10, number 11. Followed by Maryland, USC, Wisconsin, and Arizona. Wild to think Arizona State is mentioned 3,471 times. Arizona is mentioned 116 times. And finishing out the top 20, Virginia, Miami, Florida, Florida State, and Syracuse. So we go to the Southeast. Syracuse mentioned 65 times. Again, that's number 20 in the Epstein rankings. Arizona State is number 1 at 3,471. Yikes.
Forkum?
Not good. Not good at all. What did you say?
Forkum. They say, right? Forkum?
They say.
Yeah.
Forkum. That's what they say. Yep, that's a good point. Georgia defensive lineman, defensive or defensive, however you want to pronounce it. Route 44, Sonic Drive-In. London Seymour has been arrested and charged with 11 second-degree felony counts of criminal property damage. Dog's annual off-season encounters with the law have officially begun. Yep. It's never really Groundhog Day unless a Georgia player has been arrested for something really nefarious. And surely he will play next season every snap of the year. Also, did you see the Penn State hockey player, future number 1 overall draft pick in the NHL, started beating people up?
We'll get to him. We'll get to him in the idiot of the day. Don't you fear, Drake Toll.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. But also, what are we talking about? If you're an athlete, say it with me. You can do whatever you want. I maybe there's an Athletes Anonymous somewhere out there where that's the first thing they say at the beginning of the meeting. They're all, hi, Stephon Diggs.
Just know, no drugs. None of that green stuff. Then you're done.
I'm Stephon
You're done
Diggs.
for life.
They all say, hi, Stephon Diggs. They say, remember, Stephon, we all say it here. When you're an athlete, you can do whatever you want. All in unison because they get away with all of it. Finally, biggest winner of the day. Texas Athletics. Yeah, man. They want to do regular fountain soft drink for $3 at their game, candy, popcorn, and 20-ounce bottle of water, $3. All beef hot dog and peanuts, $4. And Bud Light, $5. You can get Corona Extra for $6.50, which is still pretty cheap, and a chicken tender basket for $8. Addie Bates, credit to your Texas Longhorns.
Every single team should have this. The Baltimore Orioles have that up here, and I'm telling you, I think they made more money off of me because I was like, well, it's only a $3 dog. I'm going to get more. It's a $5 beer. Just going to get more. Every team should have the affordable menu.
I think it's Madison Square Garden. A double vodka lemonade is $45.
Oh, golly.
Oh. Right to the wallet. I spent a lot of money. I bought a pitcher of margaritas yesterday for the boys. Pretty awesome. Oh, Addie had trivia last night. That coming up next on the Drake Toll Show. Obituaries and Addie's trivia performance. Addie Bates produces in Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Hour 1 down. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king regales his stepsons when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country, you need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation, glad they conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down, the champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch, he lost the comeback, he lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo Kendall. I guess time does make fools of us all.
Sorrow
seen trouble all my day.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization. Locked on Big 12. Addie, name the movie that song is from. Can you?
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Oh, brother, where art thou? Bang, ball knower. Add a sticker to your helmet. Bang.
Movies.
Bang, movies.
Good answer.
So, here's what. Not good answer. Good answer. Show me movies. Oh, brother, where art thou?
Sit on it.
Naked grandma. You pine. He said, did you just say you pine? Yeah, Steve.
Pork.
What comes after pork?
You pine.
You pine. I get it. We've all been there. We've all been there, man. It's a good guess. Survey says no, but it's a great guess.
Because the guy's not wrong.
February 28th, I am eyeing for 1,000 of my finest dollars. They are doing a live Oh Brother, Where Art Thou performance at the Grand Ole Opry.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, because 25 years ago, it won the Grammy for Album of the Year. It beat U2, a movie's soundtrack, won Album of the Year at the Grammys over U2. Never happened before, will never happen again. It was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Did it beat U2's All That You Can Leave Behind?
I don't know. Was that the free one on Apple?
No.
I hated that one on iTunes.
Don't even. Okay, that I have such a hot take on that. Like that, when people say that, it actually makes me mad at this point.
Hold on, why?
Because what they were doing, which by the way, Taylor Swift, take notes on this. You don't need to keep profiting and releasing 25 million different albums of the same thing and taking advantage of your fans. What U2 did, they said, hey, we have enough money. We don't want to make money. Like, please, we want people to just enjoy art. And so that's why they were like, yeah, we'll give this away for free for everybody. So that way people can afford it. People who can't afford it can have this album. And people are like, I can't believe this was on my phone. It ruined my iPod. And I'm like, brother, just admit that you're an unhappy person. Somebody is trying to do a good deed and you're mad about it.
You know what? I'm removing your helmet sticker. No more helmet sticker for you.
No, I know, Ball.
It just wasn't a good album. Like, critically, it wasn't a good album at all.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah. If it was free for me, of course I did. I was like, oh, cool. I have 10 free U2 songs.
I just don't. There are a couple bangers on that album.
Well, yes.
Every Breaking Wave, Cedarwood Road.
Beat out U2 in 2001 for Album of the Year. You're going to have to pry my cold, dead body away from the Grand Ole Opry on February 28th. In VIP tickets, probably. It's a lot of money, but what's a king to a god? What's a god to a mile or whatever? What's Kanye's song, right?
From a jack to a king.
What's a god to a non-believer who don't believe in anything? No Church in the Wild? That's not Kanye. No Church in the Wild is Jay-Z?
Brother doesn't like U2, but he's very familiar with Kanye and Jay-Z in the Epstein files.
He apologized for the Nazi thing, okay?
Oh, God. Yeah, sometimes it just slips. Okay?
He released an apology, said a hand up, my bad. That one time that I was like, Hitler was right. Didn't mean it. Sorry, everybody. It's like, there's some things that are really hard to walk back, Kanye.
Golly. Yeah.
Did you see that? This happened
Yes, I did see that.
4 or 5 days ago. Yeah, it was crazy in pop culture. You know what? Fine. Obituaries. Dead today. Kanye being a Nazi. Yeah. There you go. Step number 1 in unbecoming a Nazi is admitting that you were wrong and you're sorry that you said those things about Hitler. So, Kanye, dead today is your reign of terror. Also dead today, you not knowing Scott Hansen's favorite red zone catchphrase. Oh, because you're about to find out. That's right, Scott Hansen. I'm Scott Hansen. Joined You Better, You Bet yesterday and said this about his favorite red zone catchphrase. All right. That's good stuff. Thank you, Scott Hansen. Live on the Drake Toll Show.
That's when he walked away to go to the bathroom.
And Curtis Poindexter. This is when you, Curtis, walked away to go to the bathroom. Is that what you just said?
When Scott Hansen goes.
It's yeah. That is what it
Want to hear what he
like.
said, though? I have what he said, though.
I do want to hear what he said, Curtis. That's why I queued it up. That's why I threw it to you, was to hear what he said, Curtis.
It's the witching hour.
I think it's the witching hour
When
also.
wins become losses and losses
Well, how
become
did
wins.
you come up with that?
Nick, I am told there are text threads among families, fantasy football leagues.
Of course there are.
That literally send an alert out.
Of course.
Because you're a savvy Red Zone viewer. We don't do it by time of day. We don't say it's,
3:25. Whatever.
We do it more than half of the games are in the fourth quarter or entering the, let's say, an 8-game early window. When we get that fourth game in the 8-game early window into the fourth quarter or end of the third quarter, let's say, hey, let's see what this drive resolves, and then let's call it the witching hour. So it still feels spontaneous, I think, to the audience every time we do it, and people have a Pavlovian response to it,
great.
and nobody moves their butt for the next 60-plus minutes
it's awesome.
when we're in the witching hour.
I'm going to do it. Can I just get the first 6 seconds of that clip, please, Curtis? Just the first 6 seconds.
No, it's the witching hour.
I think it's the witching hour
When
also.
wins become losses and losses
Well, how
become
did you
wins.
come up with?
What a visceral reaction from Nick Costos. I don't remember that the first time I listened. I do not remember that. Addie?
I remember it.
Yep.
You're shocked. You're shocked by the answer. I get it.
Nick Costos.
We all had the same reaction.
I like that guy a lot. He joins the show tomorrow, actually. That's the second obituary is you not knowing about Chris Hansen's favorite catchphrase, which is
not Chris Hansen. Not Chris Hansen.
No, I
can see.
Sorry, I forgot. I'm Chris Hansen. My bad. I'm Chris Hansen. Our final obituary, not Trinidad Chambliss. I'm going to save that for later. Framber Valdez and the Astros. That era is over. And Addie, you texted and said, hey, I know you're not the biggest MLB guy, but this is some earth-shattering news in the league. Why? Why should a Phillies fan care about this?
Ooh, why should a Phillies fan care about this? You should be happy because there were reports that came out yesterday that said that the Pirates were in talks with Framber Valdez. Could you imagine 1-2 punch-out being Skeens Valdez? Skeens. Paul Skeens. Do you know him? You know his girlfriend.
Livy Dunn's boyfriend, yeah. They're still dating.
Phillies fans are probably wiping the sweat off their face oh gosh, thank God this guy's not in our division now.
You think Paul Skeens is indecisive? I mean, him and Livy Dunn have been dating for a long time, but he still hasn't put a ring on it.
What? I think he's got other things to focus on right now.
She needs a man that will value her.
And is that going to be Drake C. Toll?
No, man. It's not me. I'm not signing up. I'm just saying, if she's listening, which surely she is at our Baton Rouge affiliate, just consider, hey, there are other fish in the sea. Your fish doesn't have to be the greatest pitcher of all time, Paul Skeens. Just letting you know. Keeping it a buck.
Have you seen Paul Skeens?
Yeah. He's got a mustache.
Beautiful man. Come on now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Framber Valdez no longer member of the Astros. And the reason I brought up Trinidad Chambliss, for those who are wondering, is because Ole Miss appealed him being ungranted, not granted, withheld a year of eligibility by the NCAA. The organization said no. Ole Miss said no, we're going to appeal that. And then the NCAA said, well, we don't care. We don't care.
We do not care.
So now Trinidad Chambliss will not play college football next year. Oh, no. You can't be 25 and play. Which the crappy part is other guys can be 25 and play. And in this event, you can't be Trinidad Chambliss and be 25 years old and play.
No,
those are the obituaries today.
Please don't turn 25.
That's who is dead today on the Drake Toll Show. It is time now for the Quickie, top 5 headlines in all of sports. I have 1 minute each to respond. Addie Bates will read them. I will tell you what I think about them, if I think.
All righty. The Warriors and the Hawks were involved in a trade. And guess what? Kristaps Porzingis going to the Warriors.
Tingus Bingus. headed to the Warriors. Who the hell is Tingus Pingus? And is he or is he not a Golden State Warrior? This is more about Kuminga and just getting him out, saying goodbye to him because they didn't want him and he didn't want them. So now that he's gone, cool, good, all's right in the world. Surprised you didn't bring him how Trace Jackson Davis is going to the Raptors from the Warriors. You didn't say anything about that, did you? Huh? But yeah, this Kuminga deal, and the Buddy Hield part of it too, is something to keep in mind. To the Atlanta Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis. Warriors want to compete. They want to win. They didn't think Kuminga was the guy who could help him get there. He gets his fresh start in Atlanta. Hot Atlanta. A-Town. Burn it. Works for me, man.
I mean, yeah. NCAA. Let's break it down a little bit more. Denies eligibility appeal for Ole Miss quarterback.
Thank you. How many times can we mention Trinidad Chambliss in one show? That is the question.
I feel like it's important to talk about this, like eligibility and everything like that. Like, at what point do we move on from college?
On the one hand, get ready to learn LinkedIn, buddy. Get ready to learn Guangdong Southern Tigers, buddy.
Can you imagine Carson Beck in a real world job?
Yeah, because like Stetson Bennett, I think, decided to become a car dealer. Maybe it's Jake Fromm, one of those Georgia quarterbacks, decided to become a car dealer, and it's working out pretty well for him. By the way, you know what? You know what I hate? Oh, you know what I hate now all of a sudden? Is when NFL players or rich people buy car dealerships and try to sell me a car. You know what I found out when I called the loan office the other day?
What?
That the dealership took the loan out on my car for? I called them and they told me, they're like, yeah, you owe $6,000 more than what they told you at the dealership. And I said, what? They said, yeah, you didn't know about the warranty and the warranty that was $3,000 and the whatever they call it, dealership fee. I was like, dealership fee? What is that? Like, I don't know. We're the loan office. Just pay us. How stupid is that? And you know who owned the car dealership? A former NFL player. So I'm upset. I don't even remember that.
He's chasing the bag.
Couldn't tell you what the headline is, but I hate it. Oh,
That's okay.
It's athletes who go on to a future outside of athletics. That's what it was. That's the connection. I hate it. Trinidad Chambliss, don't own a car dealership, or be a good person if you do.
I also have to correct myself. Sorry, I did not mean to say the Pirates and the Phillies are in the same division. I meant to say they're in the same NL. They're in the NL. Sorry,
they're in the
guys.
same NL. That's okay.
They're in the National League. They're in the same, league. Sorry, guys. Sorry to disappoint. Don't know ball. Know that. Anyways, the Clippers, Chris
Addie's
Paul.
actually, genuinely, she won't sleep for 2 days because of that. Because she knows the MLB like the back of her hand.
That actually is correct. I'm probably, I'm going to have a meltdown after this.
Freudian slip.
It really is. Clippers, Chris Paul lands with Raptors in 3-team trade.
Yep. Goodbye, Clippers. See you later. And goodbye, Chris Paul, the Clippers. Goodbye, James Harden. Goodbye, Clippers. That's what it is, man.
Goodbye, Clippers.
I just don't think, is Chris Paul a valuable member on the court of a basketball team in the NBA right now that can help somebody compete and win? Not that I need it. I don't think I need it. I think I'm going to be okay. I want to be good. And him playing for the Raptors is just another nugget in the end of the Chris Paul career that's been a multitude of teams. You're like, okay, who else could Chris Paul play for here? All right, thanks, Chris Paul. Thanks for playing. And look, he's going to a Raptors team that it could be a contender. 30 wins already this season. Could be a contender. Does Chris Paul make them more of a contender? Hard for me to say yes to that. Congrats to old man Chris Paul on yet another team to sign with late in your career.
What I think is interesting is they were like, hey, you actually don't have to report to us just yet. You don't have to report to the team.
Right. He may not even be a Raptor.
Yeah.
This is the same guy that got kicked off of his basketball team a couple months ago.
What a guy. What a guy. Alrighty. So here's the other one. We have Mavericks trade Anthony Davis to the Wizards. By the way, in my opinion, the Wizards gave up nothing.
And the Mavericks give up everything. The Mavericks gave up their soul a year ago. Worst trade ever. Luka Doncic is sitting somewhere fat, overweight, smoking a cigar and drinking a beer. Happy. That's the joke is he's not actually fat at all. But that's the reason that Nico Harrison and the Mavericks didn't want him anymore. Actually, I shouldn't say the Mavericks, just Nico. Didn't want him anymore because he was too fat. And now he is one of the best players on the planet still. And you could have had, never mind. Whatever.
They have Cooper Flag?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo, the guy who's going to finish second in Rookie of the Year voting to Con Knippel.
Yeah.
That Cooper Flag.
Go again.
Word on the street. Word on the
That
street.
was sarcasm. Okay, what's the final headline?
Number 6, Gonzaga goes down as winning streak ends with surprising loss to Portland.
Yeah, man, fraudulent. Get ready to learn fraud, buddy. Gonzaga basketball is not like that. They're not like that this year. The strength of schedule is so low. It'll change the Pac-12 next year. They'll have a bit more competition to duke it out with, and their strength of schedule will change. But look, man, we can't be losing to Portland. We can't be losing to Portland when teams like Arizona and Michigan exist, and Texas Tech and Iowa State. When those teams exist, we cannot be losing to Portland. Gonzaga should drop and should drop a good chunk. We've seen a lot of top teams go down in college basketball this week. It's getting a little bit hairier. It's getting a little bit more fun, a little more bunched up in there. I like that. College basketball is evening out.
I did like that.
All right. That is the Quickie top 5 headlines in all of sports. 1 minute to respond to each of them. I am Drake Toll. That is Curtis Poindexter, who runs the board in Santa Monica, California. I was here looking for your ghost. Santa Monica.
Who sings it?
West Coast. Effervescence. Everclear. Oof. College, man. Those were the days. Those were the days, my friends. Who sings that?
Those were the days, my friend.
I don't know.
Mary Wells?
No. Oh, it is Mary Wells. It is Mary Wells.
No, it's not Wells. Is it Mary Wells?
I have no idea. That's Addie Bates. She produced. She will figure it out in the break. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Hopkins?
Hopkins, yes. The first artist.
Mary
Paul McCartney wrote that song.
Hopkins. Yeah. Well, that song. Those were the days. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Progressivecommercial.com. Around the bend. The Super Bowl. Drake May. How does he feel about his shoulder? Oh, it might surprise you. Uh-oh. Do we have an injured quarterback in the Super Bowl? Let's hear from Benjamin Watson. Do we? And will Mike Vrabel do whatever it takes to win? That and more on the Drake Toll Show.
Gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord, yeah. When darkness world stops turning, ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power, and as God has struck the hour, day of judgment, God.
Yeah. Hello. Yep. I got you. I got a second. Oh, yeah. I'm just hosting the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Oh, yeah. No, we're good. Yep, for sure. Can I call you back? All right, bye. Oh, wow. The Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I just got a text from one of the party animals, a member of the Banana Ball Championship League with the Savannah Bananas from Bryson Bloomer. I'm eating turf pellets. Good morning. Good start to the morning. We did get turf at historic Grayson Stadium in Savannah, Georgia, and the pellets are tasty. Used to be tires. Listen to this. You want to hear something? I told you my dad listens every now and then to the show. And, thankful to still have my dad with us. Everybody give it up for my dad. Yeah. And what's crazy is we are live right now in Houston, D.C. Addie, shout out. D-Town. What was that? Did you see? What did you see me with a Chi-Who? What?
Brother, you hit us with the sorry,
I
I'm
can't
busy
hear you,
blocking
but if I
out
could,
the
I'm sure you're saying
haters.
something cool.
He was busy blocking out the
maybe I'll be able to
haters
hear
to
you
start
later.
the show. I could do this.
D.C., Boston, Seattle, Detroit, Denver, Baltimore, San Diego, Kansas City, Memphis, Providence, New Orleans, Birmingham, Albuquerque, Buffalo, Lexington, Wichita, Tucson. It's pretty big markets right there, folks. Pretty big markets. The Drake Toll Show is airing live on right now. San Diego to Tucson to Buffalo to Detroit to Boston. Pretty awesome. I mean, when we talk about Terry Pagula, it matters to you. Framber Valdez, it matters to you. We talk about, gross. Anthony Davis being traded away from the Dallas Mavericks. That matters to you. That's why you show up every day to the Drake Toll Show. That's why you're here. Good morning, Addie, by the way. Hi. Good to see you.
Good morning.
I'll hear you one day. One day. Good morning to you as well, Curtis.
Hey.
Okay, I can't hear you. That's good. Curtis was away from the show yesterday on vacation, fast asleep, because he had worked the Pro Bowl. That's right. The most intense, fan-focused, beautiful thing in all of sports, the Pro Bowl. Curtis was working that on Tuesday night. Big Curtis, can you take us behind the scenes, please, on the Pro Bowl?
It was 3 hours of they didn't even treat it as play-by-play. They treated it as a show, and then they would randomly throw in, oh yeah, and Dak Prescott threw a touchdown to whatever. It's 52 whatever.
Nice. Ryan Radke, right? We had no highlights from that?
Yeah, it was a show with randomly calling things out in the background is what it is.
Heck yeah. I also, by the way, Curtis, I sent you even more audio for the show. A fan has reacted to the Kristaps Porzingis trade and him going to the Warriors. Surely we can get to that in a bit. But first, the Super Bowl. Westwood One. You will listen to the Super Bowl live on Westwood One on Sunday. Pretty cool, man. It'll feature Drake May against Sam Darnold. And no one could have guessed at the beginning of this season, no one could have guessed that those two guys will be going toe-to-toe in the final game. But now with Mike Vrabel, first-year head coach at the helm, the New England Patriots are here. The New England Patriots are back and probably here to stay. And yesterday on You Better You Bet, Benjamin Watson joined Westwood One Sports to say that Mike Vrabel will do anything to win.
He would do anything to try to win. He talked about bending people's fingers back. He would kick you in the balls while you're on the bottom of the pile.
That's not cool.
Like Vrabel was the dude that would do anything to win. He was crafty, but very, 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 very smart. And you couple all that together with his confidence, his bravado, his experience, the way he understood the entire defense. I mean, a guy who would do anything. I mean, playing on special teams, he understood special teams. He played on offense. I mean, you think about all the places that he was able to, all the meetings he was able to be in, from the defense to the offense to special teams, and it makes sense that he has an analytical, administrative mind to be a football coach, and he's done it on every level. I mean, he coached in college. Now he's took a team that was, 4-13 last year, and totally flipped that on his head.
That was Benjamin Watson on Westwood One Sports about his old buddy Mike Vrabel. Tough as nails. That's the mentality. That's what he instilled. Gerard Mayo comes in for a year. Robert Kraft, the New England Patriots, say, Gerard, we love you. You're a legend here. Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots. Could you just lose as much as possible, please? Could you please go 4-13? Could you please help us tank so that we can rebuild this roster and feel comfortable going into next year with a real head coach, with our actual head coach? And that's what happened. 4-13 to now completely flipping that record and being in the Super Bowl. Thanks, Gerard Mayo. Mwah. Bye, you're fired. And now New England this offseason will have six guys gone to free agency that they'll have to rework, retain, speak with about their future with the organization. They've got cap space. They've got a dynasty on their hands. If the roster and the pieces they have stay together, and they very much could, namely with Drake May on his rookie contract still. That same Drake May who feels great. And Terrell Davis joined Jim Rome's show here on Westwood One Sports yesterday to go inside the mind of a guy like Drake May and talk about what it feels like, the mentality going into your first Super Bowl as an athlete.
Waking up in the morning, the morning of the Super Bowl, and having this reality that I had to play well in my mind, because I saw the first 15 plays. I had 11 runs. And so, Jim, I went to sleep with that on my mind, thinking, man, they are putting a lot. Like this is a lot. If I play well, we win. And I figured if I don't play well, we won't win.
That's good from Davis. If I play well, we win. If I don't play well, we won't win. That might sound like an understatement to you, or like a simple thing to say that, oh, yeah, I mean, you don't play well, you lose. Groundbreaking. But think about, you woke up the day of your Super Bowl. You're playing in the Super Bowl. You have 11 carries in the first 15 plays. What he's saying is there is a direct, and by the way, you listen to that for free. That's free for you on Westwood One Sports on the Drake Toll Show. What he is saying is that a misstep, any misstep, and this is on him, he has a direct correlation to the result of the Super Bowl. The weight of that, the feeling of that, the morning of the Super Bowl has to be nuts. And Drake May will feel it. We're a few days away from Drake May looking in the mirror Sunday morning and saying, oh, based on how I play today, that is going to decide whether or not my team ends this night as Super Bowl champions. But the main question is the guy healthy enough to be 100%? His stat lines have not been 100% in the postseason. He has not been world-beating, groundbreaking in the postseason. He was good in the game against the Chargers. People discount that game. They kind of forget that game in the playoffs because he was so putrid, Drake May, against the Texans and the Broncos. And by putrid, I mean a game manager. You want to think he was bad, but he wasn't bad. In that game against the Houston Texans, Drake May had 3 touchdown passes, 179 yards. He wasn't bad. That's revisionist history. In the game against the Broncos, oh, so putrid, so terrible, so bad. Game manager. He didn't need to be good. He ran the ball 10 times for 65 yards and a touchdown on a day where the New England Patriots had 206 yards of total offense because there was a blizzard going on. No one was good in that game. Nothing was fun about that game once it started snowing, and snowing as hard as physically possible. So you know what? I don't blame Drake May for the postseason. offensive woes for New England. And those woes aren't even that aggressive. People are overplaying it. And they might just be overplaying this injury that I don't think has had any bearing on what Drake May has done in the postseason. And he's a full participant. He's a full participant in practice now. And when answering questions, he said he's feeling great. He's fortunate to be out there as a full and normal week of practice. And you know what? If he's not 100%, we got drugs for that, baby. We got a couple shots. We just inject those suckers, and you're good to go. Teams were not required to submit an injury report until yesterday. And when it was submitted, Drake May was listed as a full participant. Yep, he's good. And the Pats have practiced for the final time in full shoulder pads, and the game plan is installed before arriving in Santa Clara. That is where the Super Bowl will be, not San Francisco. Got to remember, there's a difference in San Francisco and Santa Clara, and Santa Clara is where they moved the stadium. It was Candlestick, now it's Levi's. Mike Vrabel told Lindsey Jones of the Ringer suggestion of offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, who, remember, has been with the Patriots for like forever and gone to the Super Bowl a million times. It is McDaniels who has said he is confident. He is confident with Drake May and his injury, and Vrabel has leaned on McDaniels in making a call on how to approach it, with Vrabel saying no one has more experience than Josh with this. He felt that we needed to do something, keep them engaged, stimulated, and he's happy. He's happy with where things sit with Drake May being in practice all week. Plenty to clean up. Vrabel said that. But you've got your quarterback, your young stud, your young star, who's going to wake up on Sunday and realize, oh, the winner of the Super Bowl is directly affected by me. Your head coach, who's played in multiple Super Bowls. Your offensive coordinator, who's coached in 8, 9 of them. Although it's new, although it seems fresh, there is enough grit in New England, like Benjamin Watson told you about Mike Vrabel, that keeps them in this game. And despite the 4.5-point spread, which is a very large spread for the Super Bowl, it's that, the intangibles that keeps New England, in my mind, not in the driver's seat, but well within range to win the Super Bowl. 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910. Mike Mayock, Jeff Garcia, Cooper Kupp, Mike McDonald. We will hear from all of them in the next segment alone. Because there's are there 2 quarterbacks? I just checked. Yes, 2 quarterbacks that will play in this game. Drake May and Sam Darnold. The same Sam Darnold whose oblique injury needs an update. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, and this is the Drake Toll Show.
Every team, every play.
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. Their prowess is potent and secretly stern. As they speed through the finish, the flags go down. The fans get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty, except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. No trophy, no flowers, no flashbulbs, no wine. He's haunted by something he cannot define. Bowel-shaking earthquakes of doubt and remorse assail him, impale him with monster truck force. In his mind, he's still driving, still making the grade. She's hoping in time that her memories will fade. Cause he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. fighting and riding on his horse. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up, and long ago somebody left with the cup, but he's striving and driving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. 'Cause he's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. He's going the distance.
Look around your world, pretty baby. Is it everything you hoped it'd be? The wrong guy, the wrong situation, the right time to roll to me. Roll to me. And look into your heart, pretty baby. Is it aching with some nameless need? Is there something wrong and you can't put your finger on it? Right then, roll to me. And I don't think I have ever seen a soul so in despair. So if you want to talk the night through, guess who will be there? So don't try to deny it, pretty baby. You've been down so long you can hardly see. When the engine stall and it won't stop raining, it's the right time to roll to me. Roll to me. Roll to me. And I don't think I have ever seen a soul so in despair.
Touch yourself. It's the Drake Toll Show. Life, love, pop culture, sports. Oh, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I've only done one cup of tea so far this morning. You know, I'm going straight from this show, the Drake Toll Show, to historic Grayson Stadium, Savannah, Georgia, where the Party Animals, oh yeah, will take on Jackie Bradley Jr. and the Indianapolis Clowns. Pretty cool, man. That's awesome. Banana Ball is almost back in full swing. Next week, I'm going on, drum roll, please. So we do have a drum roll. So you're telling me there's a drum roll?
I told you. I'm no liar.
Yesterday, I asked Laura for a drum roll. She could not find one.
What is it labeled?
Didn't have one.
It says drum roll.
I could see why we would label the drum roll as drum roll. That's
I'm just built different, you know.
astute. Thank you.
We also struggled to find slap and tickle and then realized that it actually is not called slap and tickle.
Stomp and tickle. Yeah, stomp and tickle.
Flop and go.
Yeah, flop and go. Who knows how we got to slap and tickle, which we're 18 minutes away from. Yeah, I what do we do? What do we do a drum roll for there?
You tell me.
Huh. Man, I was really going somewhere with that, too. I was super excited for that thought. Oh, the Savannah Bananas are back. Next week, I'm going on the drum roll, please. The Banana Land at Sea cruise. How fun is that? Anybody?
Sounds like a swingers cruise.
Hey.
Like
No.
baseball, they swing a bat.
Oh, that kind of swinger. Is that what you were going for there?
Yeah. The banana cruise.
The Banana Land at Sea. Yeah, no doubt. Yes, next week is Banana Land at Sea, and I am excited. Imagine, like, you as a human being had a bunch of fans and people that, admired your work, and then you locked yourself on a boat with them for 4 days. How fun would that be? Right, guys? Come on, Curtis. How fun is that?
No.
Yeah. Get ready, because here I come. Cozumel, Mexico. And yes, we're like a few weeks away from Tallahassee, home of Florida State, where the Bananas will meet the Texas Tailgaters in front of however many people fit in that football stadium. Question mark, I don't know. Don't have it on the top of my head. But Banana Ball's a real thing, and it's coming for you. It comes for us all one of these days. This is the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I got a text in the middle of that break, by the way, from Jim from Vancouver, British Columbia. Jim says, love the show. Cheers. You know what, Jim? Yeah. Cheers, man. Dudes rock. Nailed it again. And here on the Drake Toll Show, I told you that I would get to why Sam Darnold is also one of the quarterbacks of all time to reach the Super Bowl, and will face off against Drake May, who is healthy, who did not die. Sam Darnold, is he healthy? Well, Darnold said on Wednesday morning that it feels really good. It, of course, meaning his oblique. Definitely the time off has helped a little bit. I'm always just going to take it one step at a time, do my rehab, and do everything I need to do to make sure it feels great going into practice and going into the game on Sunday. Both of these quarterbacks, lying or not, are telling you they are 100% and ready to go. Mike Mayock joined Bleck and Abdallah yesterday on Westwood One Sports and gave context about both Super Bowl quarterbacks entering this matchup.
I'm a big believer with quarterbacks on nervous system. Okay.
Yeah.
For instance, we just saw in the national championship game in college, Fernando Mendoza probably doesn't have the physical tool set of Carson Beck, who was the Georgia quarterback. But regardless of what tape you put in on Mendoza, when the game's in the line in the fourth quarter, he embraces it and plays at his highest level. Whereas Carson Beck has a litany of bad decisions and bad throws over a 3-year period. So even though the physical traits tell you one thing, the nervous system often tells you another, okay? So I put a lot into, okay, how'd you play in the playoffs? And let's take Darnold. I mean, they've only played 2 games. Patriots have played 3. The first game, they whacked San Francisco. I think he only threw the ball 16, 17 times. Yeah. He didn't have to, right? So that was that game. But he had to play at a high level to beat the Rams. He put 31 points on the board, and I think he eradicated a lot of those ghosts where people say the bigger the game got. And look at the playoffs last year, and I kind of look at it, and I get frustrated because all these high-level quarterbacks were drafted in the top 5, right? Mm-hmm. Don't work with the first team. Everybody calls them busts. And now we're seeing guys like Darnold, Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield. They're getting with the right team, and the fit works. And now we're seeing what Darnold could have been several years ago. And I give Darnold a ton of credit. So on the one side, I think that game, to your point, against the Rams, I think was big for Seattle and even bigger for Sam. The Drake May piece of it, 5 turnovers the first 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
Last week they played in the blizzard, but he kind of won the game with his legs. Mm-hmm. Quarterback draw and then a naked bootleg late to get the first down to end the game. So I think people don't understand how great an athlete he is, first of all. But I think this whole game comes down to, can Drake May in year 2 put a team on his back that's an underdog and put 30 on a really good defense and go out and win a shootout?
Did you hear that? Did you hear what we just got from Mike Mayock on the Drake Toll Show about the nervous system of quarterbacks and how he feels the nervous system of the QBs is going to make a difference in this game? Free for you. Free. You didn't have to pay anything for that. That was from Bleck and Abdallah yesterday, Westwood One Sports. Mike Mayock nailed it. Also on Bleck and Abdallah, Jeff Garcia, on how both these quarterbacks have very different paths to get here.
Well, the New York Jets expected out of Darnold what New England's getting out of Drake May.
Yeah.
But the New York Jets are not the New England Patriots. And that's why Darnold had to go through the growing pains, the struggle, because he went to a team that didn't have a team around him, that didn't have the consistency, the continuity. Now, I'm not saying Darnold was ready for it at 21 years old, coming out of only 3 years of playing collegiate football. You're not ready to take on that sort of responsibility. Now, Drake, maybe a little different situation. Maybe he's a little bit more mature. Maybe he had another year or two of the collegiate level. But, hey, they had their struggles under Mayo last year, and what Vrabel has done in one season of bringing back that team mentality that, hey, it's not just about you. You are the keys to the car, but, hey, we need 4 good working tires. We need an engine that's going to turn over. You got all that to work with. Utilize it. Darnold has had to learn the hard way, and fortunately for him, and thankfully, the NFL didn't give up on him.
Yeah.
Because I think that year he had with San Francisco to just sit back and watch Brock Purdy play, to learn from Kyle Shanahan, to see how an offense is run. Brian Greasy was their quarterback coach. Guys that were around him that knew how to execute an offense and to get you to think that sort of way, and then to go to Minnesota and apply it under O'Connell, another former quarterback who spent time in the McVay and Shanahan system and run something similar that he was already somewhat familiar with. And again, be able to turn over that key and just do the right things. Hey, press on the gas when you need to, pump the brakes when you need to, do those sort of things, and now just carry it over into Seattle. What an outstanding story for him. 2 very similar paths in the sense of how they were looked at coming out of college, but one guy going to an organization that has 2 decades of winning championships and knowing how to get back there with the head coach now. And then Darnold, who's had to go through the bump and grind of the NFL and thankfully be given a second life right at the time when he's starting to hit his prime.
Right. And
my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. What's wrong with a little NFL bump and grind from Sam Darnold? That is the question Jeff Garcia posed to Bleck and Abdallah on Westwood One Sports yesterday. And look, if you're listening, if you're tuned in to what Jeff just gave you, it is both of these quarterbacks could have been the exact same, but one of them was drafted by the Jets. And when you're drafted by the Jets, you're immediately, instead of being born on third base, you're immediately born like in the dugout, in the stands. You haven't gone to spring training. You haven't tried out for the team. You haven't got you don't even play baseball. Like one of these guys born on third base, one of them has never played baseball. That's what being drafted by the Jets does to you and your career. And now they're meeting in the Super Bowl because they're both with great organizations. And that Seattle organization is led by second-year coach Mike McDonald, who said he's going to avenge the Seahawks Super Bowl loss to the New England Patriots.
Congrats, Coach.
Thanks.
Last time out, Seahawks Patriots in the Super Bowl, it was a heartbreaking loss for the organization. Although there's no currently active rostered players that played in that previous Super Bowl matchup, do you think there's still kind of a mentality around the team, around the training facility to kind of avenge that game for the sake of the organization?
No. We haven't talked about it once. And it's not due to a lack of respect for our teams and our history and what we've done in the past, but we're really focused on this game. Like when it's funny, it's like a meme now, but when we say it's about us, it really is. You got to back that up with your actions, and that's how we live it every day. And right now, we're focused on how well we can go get ready to go play this game.
All right, Thanks, Mike McDonald. Who needs it? Rematch. It was a decade ago. Nobody's still here. We don't remember that. We don't talk about that, but I can guarantee this. The fans in Seattle remember it. They remember the name Malcolm Butler. They remember the Russell Wilson interception. They remember that Pete Carroll did not run the ball with Marshawn Lynch. They remember that. And they want revenge. As for Cooper Kupp, it's a different kind of revenge. He was a member of the Rams, and the Rams said, "You're too old. We're going to take you out back behind the barn and shoot you." And he escaped. He ran away before they shot him. And now he's in the Super Bowl again, but this time with Seattle.
With having Super Bowl experience before, is there like a specific conversation you had with a teammate or a coach this week that stands out to you? How like the lessons been passed?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing too crazy, nothing too that's like world changing, but it's just all being where your feet are. Take it all in. This is a really cool moment that we should have some gratitude for the journey that it took to get here. So many guys that have sacrificed a lot, coaches that have been through all the ups and downs, coaches that have been fired, and it's a very cool thing to be able to be at this point. And so there's a gratitude. Don't get lost in that and make it. It shouldn't feel like a burden. It should be something that hey, we're going to keep our same rhythm routine, our same process. Enjoy the media side of things, and the fact that there's going to be cameras in your face, and you're going to have to talk to people and answer questions. But man, take it all in stride and be yourself, and just enjoy it.
Cooper Kupp on his Super Bowl experience, what you will experience when you see Cooper Kupp come Sunday. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, which protects small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. On the other side, idiot of the day. Oh, and there are a lot of them today, including Texas volleyball. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Now one of these days I'll wake up tired of the life I'm living and feel inspired to get off my ass and be on my way. One of these days I'll wake up steady and ready to go like Richard Petty. I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days. One of these days I'm coming up to it, gonna put my foot right down and do it. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. I made a change. One of these days I'm bound for glory, and that's the moral of this whole story. I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days. One of these days. One of these days I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna find me a better way to live my life and carry on without the strife. I know it won't come easy, but believe me when I say I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days, I'm gonna wake up and change my ways. One of these days.
Well, I'm high as a fly on Willie Nelson's wall, and I can't remember where I am at all, and I don't know where my mind has taken me, with my boots in my hand and my hat on my feet. Somebody drive me home. Well, I don't know if I should be left alone, and if my girlfriend calls, well, tell her I'm just a fly on the wall. Well, I'm drunk as an uncle in a Walmart parking lot, blaring Margaritaville and taking up 2 spots. Windows down, beer cans on the ground, and I ain't moving if the police come around. Somebody drive me home. Well, I don't know if I should be left alone, and if my girlfriend calls, well, tell her I'm just a fly on the wall. I'm sober as a judge, shaking hands with everyone, but there ain't no way to tell if I'll ever be done. With a smile on my face and a twinkle in my eye, buddy, I'm gonna stay this way until the day I die. Somebody drive me home. Well, I don't know if I should be left alone, and if my girlfriend calls, well, tell her I'm just a fly on the wall. Oh, yeah, tell her I'm just a fly on the wall.
Coach Gert.
Did you know that? That's Coach Gary Patterson. Listen to that. Turn it up a little bit again. Come on, Curtis. That's pretty good.
Give me just a little more of your heart. I said ready, set, start. Take a step back.
That's the head coach of the defense of USC. Pretty cool if you ask me, man. Do we have permission? Do I call the artist to leave that in the podcast? How does that work? I'm not sure, actually. I'll look into it. Addie Bates produces the Drake Toll Show. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Hello, good morning. Good to be with you. Good to see you. Peace and love. The Drake Toll Show can be reached by my personal cell phone number, 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910. It is time for our idiot of the day.
Idiot of the day.
Yeah, there it is. I knew it was happening. Right on cue. Thank you, Curtis. Stomp and tickle. Got to change that music. Idiot of the day number 1. Those who don't know, those who lack the ball knowledge of the Tingus Pingus guy. This is one Knicks fan's reaction when Kristaps Porzingis, who has now been traded to the Warriors, was first drafted a decade ago to the Knicks.
What the f*** did they do? Who the f*** is this? Who the f*** is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of f***ing Latvia. You drafted this f***ing kid. You stupid mother you.
Who is Tingus Pingus? It's a good question. Who is Tingus Pingus? He is now a member of the Golden State Warriors via trade. Good job, Tingus Pingus. Other idiots of the day. This interview with Cooper DeJean and a 42-year-old he's rumored to be with. This is just awkward.
Obviously, Reed's got to do what's best for him. Got a baby on the way. So, but yeah, he's going to be a dad. Fun uncle right here. But yeah, I hope we can get Reed back, my best friend on the team. We spend a lot of time together, so hopefully we can bring him back.
And Aunt Nikki Bella?
All right.
No?
Good one.
No?
I don't know about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we have
She's
like
a good friend. Yeah.
She's a good friend.
Yeah.
Did we have the quote? There was a quote. Yes, there was a quote. Can you blame a girl for having good taste? I mean, Pro Bowl baby. How do
What's she
you
talking about?
how do you read that line? What is that?
She's saying she got good taste. I mean, she could be talking about anybody.
She's a legend.
She is.
She's an absolute badass.
She is. She's amazing
Okay.
at what she does. She's been doing it for a long time.
Love this for you, Cooper. We love this.
Really awkward interview with Cooper DeJean. Addie, can you... That's all brain rot to me. Can you explain what literally any of that means?
Cooper DeJean?
Yeah,
you know,
man.
you know that they've been spotted together, like rumored to
I
be
don't
a
even know
couple.
who they is. Who is the lady in this situation?
Nikki Bella, WWE. She was with.
No, man. No,
John
I don't
Cena?
know who that is.
You can look, but you can't touch.
Yeah, I don't.
She's
I don't know.
42 years old?
Yeah, rocking the cradle.
Coop's like 25, 26 maybe?
No, I think he's younger. I think he's younger than us, actually.
Whoa, no. He won the Super Bowl last year.
We're just behind in life. Yeah, he is
What?
younger than us. Born in 2003.
Yikes. Why did we talk about the Bulls trading Kobe White and Mike Conley to the Hornets?
I don't know. Why
All
didn't
right,
we?
tomorrow. I don't know. Does it matter?
I don't think it does not matter as much as the Porzingis and the Chris Paul and all of that.
Tingus Pingus. Give me the Mike Conley and Kobe White trade in Super Bowl terms.
If you know, it's a 10-3 game. That's how it finished. There you go.
All right, thank you. The Mavericks turned Luka Doncic into this. This is from Yossi Goslin. Max Christie, 2029 Lakers first-round pick, 2026 Thunder pick, 2030 Warriors first-round pick, 3 second-round picks. All for the legend, a legend in Dallas, a legend in Texas, Luka Doncic, who is now a Los Angeles Laker and still very good at basketball and not fat. So stop saying he's fat, because he's not. Those are certainly an idiot of the day candidates almost every day. Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks for that. Gavin McKenna is an idiot of the day today. He is a hockey player for Penn State. Why would you care? Well, he will be the number 1 overall draft pick in the NHL, but kid likes to fight, man. I kind of don't hate this. Yesterday, per Evan Smith, Gavin McKenna charged with felony assault. Ooh. Over the last few days, we looked into reports that Gavin McKenna broke the jaw of a kid who was chirping him after he was asked to leave Doggy's Pub Saturday night. He's now been charged with aggravated assault and 3 other charges. Addie Bates, call me crazy. Call me crazy. I want my first overall NHL draft pick to be breaking some jaws at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Don't you? Yeah, you want someone out there. You want that aggressor out there on the ice. No, there are rumors that the other kid was chirping at his mom.
Oh.
At Gavin McKenna's mom. That's the rumor. And so they were trying to tell him to stop. Hey, don't do that. And, obviously if someone says something about your mom and won't stop, I feel like you're going to get a little mad, right? I'm not saying you're going to break someone's jaw. Don't be doing that. But I feel like that there's something to that.
Should he apologize for just being able to punch really hard?
Yeah, the thing is we don't punch people. We don't punch people. But but the thing is if it's true that the guy was chirping at his mom, then
Punch away.
No,
just don't break their jaw.
Correct. Yes. Just don't break the jaw.
I can vibe with that. That's my number 1 overall draft pick in the NHL. I'm in. I'm bought in. But yeah, whatever. Addie said don't punch people. So is that like an FCC thing we have to stick to?
No, that's just I'm not trying to incite violence.
Rule of life. All right. Gavin McKenna punched somebody. I think it's cool. Addie doesn't. You decide. You pick a side. You have to. 3, 2, 1, pick.
Addie.
Texas volleyball. Idiot of the day. Making the worst decision ever. Addie, you want to know the number 1 venue I've ever worked a game in my life?
What?
Gregory Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Texas in Austin, Texas, where the Longhorns play volleyball. Well, used to play volleyball. Have you ever seen a game in Gregory Gymnasium?
I've seen one game.
It's like this 1940s. It feels like an airplane hangar. And Texas played basketball there in their, OG days of basketball back when James Naismith was walking the earth. And now the volleyball team plays in there. And it's the most historic, beautiful cathedral of volleyball. Like this insane, intense, awesome venue. It's the loudest place I've ever worked. You cannot hear yourself think. It's reminiscent of probably what you would imagine your high school gymnasium was. Like think back to that old wooden box. And you could yell across the court and it was deafening. And it was loud all of the time. And that's what Gregory Gymnasium at the University of Texas is. And now they're no longer using it. They are building a new facility for their volleyball team. They want to be Nebraska so bad. They want to be Nebraska. UT is building a facility that is state of the art. It's going to mirror, it looks pretty similar to the Moody Center where they play college basketball there. It's got 2 stories or 2 tiers to it as well. There's just money everywhere at the University of Texas. They just have so much money. The Texas Longhorns, idiots of the day for leaving Gregory Gymnasium, which is such a cool venue, and saying sayonara to build their own volleyball stadium, arena thing.
I actually think this is a good sign for Texas. Their volleyball
Why
team.
do you want them to move from Gregory? It's
Hold
so
on,
cool.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Hold on. Put a pause on that. They are such a good volleyball team. I think that old wooden box that you're talking about, they need a brand new box. A box who's younger, do new things that the old one wouldn't do. No, they just need a bigger arena. They're a good team. I understand the historic aspect of it, but let me just say this. I went to Valparaiso University. The Arc, also historic, but it needs to go. It's old. There's not even AC in there. People complain about it. They say it looks like a dump. That's why they can't get good players, because their facilities aren't up to speed. If you want to compete with all these other universities who are getting good players, you want to make sure that your facilities are up to par, if not better than theirs as a student athlete. And as a fan, if they want more fans in there, it's a little small. They do need something that can hold more people.
It is a small place. I like that the complex is small. I don't mind that piece of it. But yes, it's one of the tinier volleyball gyms or arenas you'll draw up in the United States. I like the history. What's this Valparaiso thing you're going on about here?
The Arc? It's been around there since like the 50s or something.
Sure, man. Can you explain that like I'm 5, please?
It's big building where Valpo basketball, volleyball play, but also all the student athletes work out. Everybody in the athletic department works there. And it's historic. It's been there for decades. But the problem is that it's old and it doesn't hold that many people. There's no AC in it. And I literally was working.
You're telling me there's no AC in the Valparaiso basketball arena?
Nope. I mean,
no
so
way that's
for
real.
real.
No way that's real.
No, you're right. What do I know? I only went to the school and worked in the Arc.
Thank you. You're just joshing me.
Yeah, I'm just no. I remember I was working. I was calling this volleyball tournament. This volleyball team walked by and goes,
"Yeah,
this place is a dump." And I was like, "Real."
It'd be like that sometimes. Was it the Indiana State volleyball team that was there that day?
Indiana State. They were definitely there.
Missouri Valley Conference. Come on now.
Of course, Valpo volleyball also really good. But yeah, like also all the dorms on campus, none of them have AC. I mean, like all the freshman ones and stuff. So that's the point. Is in order to get good players, you got to have good facilities. They can probably still use that for other like recreational sports.
I am invigorated by your passion about this. I'm not sure if I really care, but I'm happy
just
that
as a former student athlete, I know like the mindset that goes into it.
Yeah, I like this. As not a former student athlete, change. You know what? Let's start a GoFundMe, a petition right now. Change.org. Valparaiso. Cowards. Build a new gymnasium. Do
They're
it.
so in debt. They had to start selling artwork in the museum to make money. Okay.
Yikes. Oh, probably artwork given to them by students, painted by students that was free for them.
Bro, these are like Georgia O'Keeffe. Like, these are big artists.
I know that name. I live there. Our last two idiots of the day. These are unrelated to sports altogether. Brace yourself. Another Epstein mention. What? It's like big news right now. Again, there are so many famous people right now. Famous people who are like, yeah, I hate Jeffrey Epstein and all that he stands for. But also, I took a lot of pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. I really liked my photo ops of him and Jelaine.
You did?
No, this is me quoting the famous people who are appalled by Jeffrey Epstein, but also have hundreds of photos of them with him. And you're like, huh. Steve Tisch, the co-owner of the Giants. Russell Wilson, who's in the Epstein files for accidentally trying to buy Epstein's plane. Not today, Satan. Andrew Tate tweets, imagine the effing media meltdown if I was in the Epstein files, but I'm not. So they attack me all day with accusations to cover up for what they do. I'm pretty sure he is in like Thailand right now or something. Romania, maybe. Because if he was in the U.S., we would arrest him immediately and send him to prison. Because he faces 10 charges that include assault, sexual assault, bodily harm, human trafficking, and more. Maybe we sit this one out, Andrew Tate. Let's sit this one out. And then Elon Musk, sad boy hours in the Musk household. He tweeted yesterday. Why did you put him on Idiot of the Day? Give the man a break. Give the man a break.
No, doesn't need a break because it's funny. That's like, yeah. Whoever said money can't buy happiness really knew what they were talking about. Okay, buddy.
Cryptic tweet. This is like after Dan Orlovsky had the worst take of all time and then tweeted like, Twitter will break you. Like, no, Dan, you just aren't very good at having takes.
Yeah.
Elon Musk's tweets. Whoever said money can't buy happiness really knew what they were talking about. Sad face.
Just be a good person.
Yeah, man. There you go, Elon. Can I get that Tingus Pingus again, please, Kurt?
Oh.
What the f*** did they do? Who the f*** is this? Who the f*** is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of f***ing Latvia. You drafted this f***ing kid. You stupid mother you.
Kristaps Porzingis is now a warrior. I've never heard of Tingus Pingus. Latvia. That's Addie Bates producing. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we come back, are you ready for Abdallah of Bleck and Abdallah to join this very show? Because it's happening. It's literally happening. He hails from the Super Bowl, and he joins the Drake Toll Show. When we come back, this is the Drake Toll Show.
Your home for the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl 60. The NFL on Westwood One Sports.
Trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised.
wants to help me now. He has no friends to help me Heads fare thee well, my old true lover. I never expect to see you again, for I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon that train. Perhaps you'll die upon this train. You can bury me in Sunny Valley for many years where I may lay. And you may learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping in his grave. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you never see no more. But there is one promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
Keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-da-da-da-dee.
Back on the Drake Toll Show. The week of the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 60, the Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots in San Francisco, kind of Santa Clara, but San Francisco exists, and it is the home of Radio Row, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. We are on location, and by we, I mean the collective whole. I'm 30,000 feet above, monitoring the situation as needed. But boots on the ground in San Francisco, Adam Abdallah of Bleck and Abdallah joins the Drake Toll Show here on Westwood One Sports. Uh-oh, Abdallah. What could that sound be? Yeah, welcome to the show. A little stomp and tickle for you. Good morning. Abdallah, any early idiots of the day? And do you include yourself in that category for being awake at 5:22 and on the radio right now?
No, it's too early to have an idiot of the day. And no, it's not me. I'm very happy to be joining you this early in the morning. It is 5:20 in the morning here Pacific. The day is just starting. The streets are starting to warm up here for the fourth day of Radio Row here as we cover the Super Bowl here in San Francisco, kind of Santa Clara, kind of San Francisco, like you said. But yeah, no, day 4 of Radio Row and covering the Super Bowl. It's great. There's no idiots of the day so far, but like you said, it's early. Plenty of opportunities for idiots of the day.
Look, as early as it is for us on the East Coast, there were still like 7 idiots of the day today. I've got you covered. I got your back there. I can make sure that we've got it on lock. Abdallah, day 4, you mentioned day 4 today of coverage from the Super Bowl. Ma'am, by day 2, everything in you is drained. You question the existence of a higher power. Your body feels like you realize there are bones out of the 205 you did not know you had. How are you doing physically going on day 4 of Radio Row at the Super Bowl?
So it's weird because being on the West Coast and the time that our show is, so obviously being noon to 3 Eastern every single day on Westwood One, we're done at noon on the West Coast. So by the time we finish everything and we're done, post show stuff and all that good stuff, like post taping and some stuff like that, it's like 2:30 or 3. So we still have like the whole rest of the day, and like we go to dinner and like we're kind of back to our hotel rooms, and it's like 9 o'clock, and we're like, should we go out? Should we not go out? And it's like, no, we definitely should not go out. Like, let's be responsible adults. Let's go back to our hotel room. So it's kind of like we're not really like burning the midnight oil or anything like that. So because we're up, we're up early, we're up at like right now, when we're up, even if I wasn't up now, I'd probably still be up in, half hour, 45 minutes or so, just to get ready to get back out onto Radio Row, because Radio Row is still an East Coast time zone event, even though we're on the West Coast. So everything is still geared towards an East Coast time zone radio and media, because everything is done still on an East Coast time zone event. So by the time, you get to quote 5 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, or 2 o'clock Pacific, stuff starts to wrap up, so that's when it starts to die down. So everybody's still kind of living on East Coast time.
That's so cool. And Adam Abdallah of Bleck and Abdallah on the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, you mentioned it starts to kick up super early, like the convention center now in San Francisco, Radio Row, the big shows, the morning shows. I mean, and there are plenty of morning shows across the country on the East Coast specifically that are not on Radio Row, because you'd be set up at 2 a.m., live at 3 a.m. for a show, live at 2 a.m. for a show on site. When does it start picking up? When do you start seeing, oh man, the noise? Because we've listened to plenty of clips of your show yesterday, Jim Rome's show. It sounds like an active construction site is happening behind you.
Yeah, I would say, obviously Nick Kostos is there. You Better You Bet, who's on in between our 2 shows. As soon as you're done here in about half an hour, so he's on there. I would say that's when it starts to pick up. That's when a few brave souls that are out there this earlier there's a couple shows that are on there right now, but definitely when Chris and I are on at 9 o'clock Pacific time, that's when it's definitely everybody's there. I would say definitely by the time we get to 7 o'clock Pacific time, that's when everybody's there. Luckily, we get there early enough. We avoid those big security lines. We avoid all that stuff. We avoid the big coffee lines and breakfast lines, all that good stuff. We're out there early enough that we're already going. Our show's already rolling by then. So we avoid all that big mess.
That's awesome. Abdallah, the pomp and circumstance around the Super Bowl, the pulse of San Francisco, what does it feel like when you walk the streets of the city?
So I've actually been here a few times. This is my first time in San Francisco. And honestly, it just feels like slightly more crowded than normal. Like traffic is still California traffic. Like it's still bad. Like it's still, there's a couple more streets that are shut down just because of Super Bowl things. You don't really notice it unless you're very close to the convention center, other than, there's some Super Bowl signage in the stores, and a couple of the stores have like pop-up events for the Super Bowl, and like, oh, you're walking around and there's this media personality, and there's this former coach, and there's this former player, and oh, there's a really tall person, oh yeah, there's that former player, and oh man, there's this personality. So yeah, when you notice like celebrities and you notice former players and coaches, that's when it hits you. But as far as like the city being transformed for the Super Bowl, you wouldn't really know it unless you saw the signage and you get closer to the convention center where like the NFL fan experience is and like the NFL pro shop and the actual Radio Row is. But like a block away, you get 2 blocks away, it's just San Francisco at that point.
When I was 7 years old, this would have been and at 25 years old, it still is, but just the coolest thing in the world to walk the streets of a city and see NFL legends all around you, celebrities all around you. Who are the biggest names? Who are the biggest guests, the biggest NFL vets that you've seen walking around?
So let's see. We saw yesterday was a who's who on Radio Row. Like every former player, like Jamar Chase was walking around, Brandon Marshall was walking around. I mean, former, current players. Yesterday was the day. I mean, I just said the word Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco appeared. We were talking to Todd Heap and Dennis and Dennis Pinna, and all of a sudden he just all of a sudden appeared when I said the word Joe Flacco. And then we saw Bryce Young. Didn't realize how short Bryce Young was. Bryce Young, very short guy. Kind of knew it.
Early idiot of the day? Can we insert that there? Is that what you wanted? I mean, come on.
No. I mean, I can't besmirch the guy for his height. That's just how he's made, you know? Like that's a thing beyond his control. You know, maybe the people who gave us his height as like a different height on his at Alabama or where, you know, maybe they could be the idiot of the day.
There you go.
But you know what? I always think that the most famous people are the people that everybody knows. So yesterday, Chris and I were having lunch, and all of a sudden, I just look up and I'm like hitting Chris on the leg. I'm like, "Look, it's Al Roker!" Like Al Roker, like the weather guy, is on the street. Like he came out of the place we were getting lunch, getting a sandwich. There's Al Roker, and like a couple people walked up and said hi to him. So like to me, those are the famous people because like it sounds very jaded, but like yeah, there's a coach, there's a player. Like you don't see them very often, but to me, the famous people are like the people that everybody stops and like says hi to or like says, "Oh my God, I love your work," that kind of thing. So, because everybody, like, if someone saw, like, if a random San Francisco person stopped, the San Franciscan, I guess is what you call them, stopped this and saw Bryce Young, they might not know who that is, but everyone knows who Al Roker is.
That's awesome. Adam Abdallah, Bleck and Abdallah, Westwood One Sports, joining the Drake Toll Show. Abdallah, on a bit of that note, man, here's what I love about this. You're a guy who's been in media for a long time, been around some of the biggest names you can imagine, whether it's in a press conference or interviewing them on the phone or having them in studio in Chicago. And it sounds like, talking to you for the last 10 minutes, you are a kid in a candy store. What is it about Super Bowl week, the Radio Row experience, that takes the biggest pros in sports and turns them into these beings of childlike wonder?
I just think that it's, I like you said, I've been doing this for a long time, but I consider myself like young in doing this. Like I'm 41, but I've been doing this for about 20 years. I just think that sometimes people take what we do for granted and they don't understand like how many people would love to be standing in Radio Row and would love to be sitting next to an ex-Super Bowl player or a guy who, like, for example, like there's been a lot of conversation about the Pro Bowl, like, and how it doesn't mean as much as it used to. How many people would love to be sitting next to a 4-time Pro Bowler from the early 2000s and asking them, does it mean as much to you anymore as it used to? And do you like calling yourself a 4-time Pro Bowler? Like, how many people would love to be sitting next to Sean Merriman and asking them about the defenses in the Super Bowl? How many people would love to be sitting next to Mike Mayock and having like an in-depth conversation about scouting quarterbacks in college and getting that into the pros? Like just walking by, like if you're a WWE fan, walking by and seeing WWE champion CM Punk and just being like, "What's up, man?" Like just walking by, you know, like it's I think some people like that have been doing it for, 20 plus years, sometimes like take it for granted, but you have to like step back and say like, there are people that would kill to be here right now. And you just have to like step back and say, this is so cool that there's so many people right now that I'm just at an arm's length of these people that are just, and then also the people that we watch and see on TV or that you grew up watching or grew up listening to that are just there, that you just get to talk to and just say hi to, and that people that you also haven't seen in years. Yeah, exactly. Like Jim Rome. And that people that you also haven't seen in years that you reconnect with, that you only get to see once a year at the Super Bowl in person.
Wow. That's awesome. Adam Abdallah, Bleck and Abdallah on the Drake Toll Show. Abdallah, I'll leave you with this. I don't know how this happened. Oversight on my part, and I apologize. But I am following you on Twitter for the first time today. We're in. We're there.
Nice.
We did
Nice.
it. We did it. I
Nice.
realized my mistake. We've amended it. Abdallah, thanks so much for getting up early and giving us the pulse of San Francisco.
Anytime. Appreciate it. And I'm glad I have not been the idiot of the day yet, but there's still plenty of time. And I'm sure
your time
I will
will
be
come
at some point.
Yeah, your time will
I'm
come,
sure.
no doubt.
Thanks
No
for
doubt.
having
Thanks
me.
again. Absolutely, Abdallah. Bleck and Abdallah, every day, noon to 3, right here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. They are on after Nick Costos. You better, you bet. Who will join the show tomorrow, the Drake Toll Show tomorrow prior to his 3 hours, the fastest 3 hours in all of sports. Then, obviously, 3 to 6 p.m. Getting you home every day. Jim Rome, the consummate professional, the guy you grew up listening to, the guy you're still listening to. Pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. An honor to work with guys like Bleck and Abdallah, Armin Williams, who joined yesterday, the program director who built this station, who built Westwood One Sports. This is an opportunity for a guy like me, 25 years old now, to crack into the national scene in radio, to do it different, to bring back what I loved about radio. And the guys that we have crafted, the guys we brought together, you may not have heard of them across the board. You may have only heard of Jim Rome, but that was kind of the point. Let's bring you radio like it felt a long time ago, radio like it felt 20 years ago, radio like it felt when you were listening to some of your favorites growing up. Coming up, San Francisco. How did San Francisco land the Super Bowl? How did they get so lucky as to host the big game? And what all went into the NFL's selection of their city? Because a 2018 proposal from Minneapolis to host the Super Bowl that year has been released and resurfaced and detailed what it takes for a city to host. And it's a lot. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You can reach the show on my personal cell phone number. Yeah, I'm going to give you my cell phone number. Every single day, 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. Coming up, why San Francisco and who's next? This is the Drake Toll Show.